Good evening. It's February 2nd in Japan. It's Sunday. Uh, it's almost over, but actually, today was a day called Setsubun, which is like the it's start of a different season. And actually, this season is the start of the spring in old calendar in Japan. And yeah, it's called it's a season called, well, it's not a season, but it's a like around um the time which is called Rishun, and nowadays people eat this California sushi roll type of thing. um uh and they never cut it up, and but they have to bite like in just in their with their mouth, and they have to do that in a certain direction, and have to laugh or something. um in my childhood, it was rather familiar to spread um, the beans, and yeah, eat the number of the beans or something. But anyway, there are four seasons, and there are names in the Japanese old calendar. And today is actually said to be one of it. So it's supposed to be the start of the spring. Toward like April, like it's getting warmer. I before getting into the main topic, I just wanted to introduce you about Japan. Um, but but anyway, I think that it's a weird custom because in my area, this eat biting this sushi roll is not the custom that is uh, common. But in 2000s, well, like I was thinking about this, but in 2000s, I guess um, the advertising company probably started to uh, like organize something, and this thing started. And if this were related to Osaka, then in my impression, it's probably related to commercial activities, success, or something, but I'm not actually sure. I don't know what it is. But I don't bite the rolls, and yeah, I was actually reading a book today. um, Yesterday, I got a. I was very excited because I got a book from my dear friend uh, Leonard Grunstein. You know what? He's a former lawyer, and he owned a bank too. But anyway, um, I'm going to introduce him in probably after February 13th. I would like to read the book thoroughly. It's a very, very exciting book. I was reading through, and I was so excited. So, uh, and I would probably talk about hours. Yeah, but uh, Leonard or Len, he writes wonderful posts on the Times of Israel. Yeah, and I really love his posts there. Um, yes, but it was a wonderful gift from him, and I will discuss this book, and also it's a story about uh, the move, how, or how the U.S. embassy was moved to Jerusalem. But a lot of people tend to think that it was like forcibly moved or something. That's the thing that the media in general was discussing in Japan too. And yeah, on X, I was actually very proud that Tel Aviv was following me. It's a non-stop city, but it was like, oh, Jerusalem. Okay. Well, it's a wonderful city. It's a wonderful city with very old history related to the religion Judaism and the Jewish people. And I would like to discuss a lot, and I hope that Len doesn't get tired for 90 minutes. But anyway, just yesterday, I was having, well, I will not tell who the name of the person, but I was actually talking with a person who does not know how much I watch all the information and check the information about what Hamas and what Gaza and is. No? Like an UNRWA. I just cannot tolerate UNRWA at all. And this, I'm sorry to say this clearly, but it's very obvious that this UNRWA office Japan is lying to the public. And they keep using the public fund, the tax money, to raise terrorists. Is that okay? I mean, like, when you look at the press conference of the ambassador Gilad Cohen, I'm sorry, the pronunciation is really bad, but like, who is the ambassador of Israel to Japan? It's like, he's talking, and the entire media is like, like the enemy of it or something like that. I mean, it's so terrible. Like, I mean, it's not a question. It's intentionally, and it's an intentional attack against him. And I don't see, they know, maybe some of them know the facts of UNRWA. And then they are lying, actually, and they are lying to the public of Japan. I'm sorry to say this, but it's true. So, if, what, I heard a lot about, how Japanese people react to, like, the to Israeli people, and, like, one person was saying, like, Israel should be peaceful. Well, I would say that, probably these people really should learn what UNRWA is first. And then they should talk about it. Because they're supporting UNRWA maybe, and terrorism. I would say that. Obviously, they are supporting the resistance movement, which is a terrorist movement. And yeah, it's a coward to call it resistance. I would say that clearly. And it's not democratic at all. To just, she's shouting out is not democracy. And one person by the way, one person, I was speaking with one person. He's a former IDF soldier. He served in the IDF when he was younger. Um, and he started to talk about Israel. Like, well, I was talking about Israel, but it was also an emotional moment for him because he was also watching the hostages coming back on TV, and he showed me that too. And also, um, you know, yeah, I cannot tell where he lives because it's dangerous to say that. Yeah, it's for the safety of this person and the family, and I'm not going to say it, um, but I'm going to say what he thinks, and what he told me, which is, he was terrified, actually, at not at about getting it. Well, he was terrified on October 7th, and he was so shocked to see all the not just Hamas, but the citizens pouring into Israel, stole things. And see, do you remember a woman who testified what happened to her daughters? Her daughters' eyes were gouged out. How do you feel looking at that? That's resistance? Come on. Don't say such whatever terrible things. I mean, and decapitating babies, and what this Arab countries said was that Israel's lying, and the world, and also the protesters, I have to say. And now the protesters say, like, well, I didn't mean to, what? They're now in trouble because of the President Trump's executive order. I think it's very clear, and yeah, it is very clear. Well, maybe people may not understand or be aware, but there is a very, very strict immigration system in the United States, and it's not strange what President Trump signed. And also burning the synagogues because they wanted to, that's the act of resistance. That's a crime. Assaulting people because they served in the IDF, or they are Jewish, that's a crime as well. Censoring on campus, whether they're Jewish or not, that's a crime. Okay, that's not protest. That's a crime. And actually, I just maybe talked about this, but this president of Brazil tried to investigate the former IDF soldier for this particular war crimes, which is not true. It's totally political, and I hate all these political targeting against Israeli people or Jewish people. And Dr. Hivory, he's a historian. He's a very famous historian. He's a novelist, a writer, author, I have to say. And he has abundant knowledge on Zionism. And I really think it's not about Japan, but there is an idea of what the nation should be. And I have to say this, but like denying Zionism is like denying a country, like you should not exist, something like that, in a simple word, really. Like people think that it's just a movement or something, but it is actually not. It was a political movement. It started out that way, but political movement is at the same time the formation of the nation. It is very deeply linked together, and if people ever do not understand this and call people like crazy Zionists, they are racists. Yes, but I have to go back to this person because he first said, well, please look at all these terrible things that, we went through, which is true. I mean, it's horrible. How do you feel if your baby was decapitated? How do you feel if your daughter is burned alive in front of you? How do you feel if this person, Hamas, testifies that he raped, and then his brother raped the woman, and then his father raped the woman, and then shot her? It is just horrible. And I try not to openly tell this in front of Israeli people when I talk with them, because it is very, very shocking, and some people maybe have trauma, and I just try not to talk about it because it's very much a horrific experience that they had, and it's just too not just inappropriate, but it is inhumane to directly tell a person like what happened in front of them. I mean, it's important to listen to them, but not to talk to them too much about it, I would say, because this people, Israeli people, are very shocked at what happened. And obviously he sounded very shocked. And he told me, like, you have to believe us that we're getting attacked from 7 fronts, and we're very scared, which is, and also he said something which every parent would probably think. Like he has a child, and he what he told me was that he cares about his own child and his family. And I hope and pray. It's I cannot fight in a battle or something. I'm not joking really that way, but I really pray that Israel is a nation for Jewish people. And it's not because Israel's going somewhere or disappearing, but I believe that Israel is a wonderful nation. And this is not something I started to believe after October 7th, but this is something that I have had in my mind since I was very little. So, yeah, I ended up telling him what I know. And, uh, yes, I just felt very sad because I told him what happened to the Israeli people, but anyways, I I would like to I would like to arrange to invite Leonard. Uh, he had his co-author is Farley Weiss. Sorry, Farley Weiss, and he also wrote with Leonard, my friend. But yes, I am inviting Leonard to this podcast and discuss his book, and I will be asking questions that I have, and it's very exciting for me. And it's very exciting for me to talk about Israel. And probably it has always been my faith, I guess. But I just I don't know what to say, but this morning I heard the discussion that I really hate on TBS. After October 7th, I don't like this TV discussion, but I listened to it. Starting from like 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. in the morning on TBS. But TBS invited a Japanese former terrorist. Well, I have to say former Japanese terrorist. And she is not sorry for what she has done in 1972. And the reason why she is free after 22 years is because the prosecutors forgot to hand in all the documents to send her to capital cases. But I'm just I am, and these people on TBS, I'm sorry, they're terrible people, and they think that they're humane, okay? And they're complaining about this Trump's executive order, and if they ever complain, they probably don't know the immigration system of the United States at all. Not professional. But yeah, I am fortunate that I am inviting other guests and talk about October 7th in a different way, and also talk about different topics about Israel. But I will keep talking about Israel, and actually, I wouldn't say that, it's not about us, Japan. Japan should be in peace. And you know what? I watched the Japanese Defense Academy's documentary on NHK. They narrated that it's the most important things to defend the people. But at the same time, in my opinion, as a person who have seen many wars, I would say that soldiers have to be protected, and officers. It is just terrible to lose them as a country. And I wouldn't say that, Japan should be claiming that we can, maintain peace like whatever. Because I'm not saying that something will happen, but I will say that in case something happens, Japan has to defend herself with the ally, the United States, with the help of the United States, I have to say. But mainly, we have to defend Japan. And I don't know what they mean by peace, because diplomacy is not about all these simple things that is going on around. And like, these people say. And sometimes, well, I will keep just, this podcast as long as I can or whatever. I mean, I will not, I'm not saying that I will not be able to do it in the future, but I will not say that Japan is totally different from Israel. Yeah. I think that Japanese people should have more understandings of what is happening in Israel and what kind of fear or fears Israeli people have had, and also what kind of courage they have. They have a lot of courage. They are very courageous people. They are very proud of their country, Israel. And I don't think that we can humiliate by saying you're not a safe country. Well, you're not great country or something. It's pretty humiliating if somebody calls Japan, well, you're not a great country. No, it's something like being humiliated by some Chinese, actually. Yeah, I was told something very terrible. I don't know what they were saying, but I have encountered on some occasions by Chinese people what they were shouting at me. Well, in the U.S. actually. But anyway, just please stay safe. Yeah, just for Israeli people, please stay safe. And I hope it's a victory of Israel. Yes. And indeed, it has to be. And also, yeah, like, Israel is not a country of war crimes. That is another humiliation created and initiated by this United Nations. And please think about it seriously, yourself, because it's about your country also and your future. Okay. I will be podcasting. Well, this week, I'm not sure if I'm inviting a guest or not, but I will have two guests next week, I guess. Oh, no, I'm not sure. Well, I will arrange the schedule and have podcasts. So, I have to say, like, my East Coast friends, I have to say, like, good morning. Yeah, and in Israel, it's around like 4. Yeah, so it's probably soon it's like in the evening, the dinner time. And in Japan, it's like at night. Like, it's it's changing to, well, it's almost like February 3rd. Oh, it's time passes so fast, but yeah, I have to tolerate with that too. And I hope you have a good day or good evening or good night. Goodbye.